Canik TP9 SF. All right, there's no secret. This is a fantastic value. They say it's a Multra P99 variant or clone, whatever you want to call it. All I find is that this is their no frills model. It's full size, 18 rounds, 9mm. It has nice sights, blacked out in the back. It's got a white dot in the front. It's not nice sights, but it is what it is. Anyway, for the price, you're talking, well, this particular kit was not cheap, I'm not going to lie. You know, people advertise, oh, you get these for $300 and blah, blah, blah. I know later on they came out with, you could buy just the gun and one mag. It's like $300 or whatever it was. I purchased this, I want to say, almost 4 years ago. It was $440. I mean, you know, it came with a holster that I haven't really used. I put it on and played, you know, quick draw with it a few times, but it does come with this cheap little load assist tool, which I have to say works. You know, it is what it is. It's cheap, yes, it works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I got no complaints. I actually use it, especially when you're loading 18 rounds in these magazines, and I have more, of course. And when you go to the range and load them all up, it could be painful after a while. You keep loading that. Anyway, you know, Canik is known for it has a decent trigger, and it really does. I mean, this is pretty well worn in because this gun has over 3,000 rounds. It's 4 years old. The only reason it doesn't have more is probably because when I got that 1911, I bought a Rock Island 1911 shortly after, and I just really enjoyed shooting it more, in spite of the fact that 45 is a lot more money than 9mm. But I can't argue with it. You know, this was my first gun, and this is also probably the reason why I don't like a lot of the polymer guns. You know, first time out, and I got something that has a decent trigger, and even as a layman, you know, just trying out different triggers, I could tell the difference in triggers. And too many other guns I've tried, I just don't like the trigger. You know, if the trigger's crunchy or it's heavy and crunchy, or it's an instant turn off for me. I mean, aside from the fact I mostly buy full-size guns because I have full-size hands. You know, I wear like a double X glove, and even some of those are cut a little tight. But the Canik TP9 SF, I couldn't recommend it more, especially if it's like your first gun or your only. If it's your only gun, it's good for range duty, home defense. If you're a big enough person, you might be able to carry it concealed fairly easily. Definitely during the winter months. But yeah, I strongly recommend it. It's a great gun. I've never had a single problem with it. Not a stovepipe, nothing. Not a single problem. And I've run mostly cheap ammo through it, 115 grain. Although I have run 124 grain hollow points. Nosler, I believe those were. Other than that, I don't keep track of the brands because mostly I'm just buying whatever I can find cheap and I run through them. I'm not a professional shooter or anything. I just go to the range for recreational purposes. I think owning a firearm and knowing how to use it safely is a skill that everyone really should have. It's just because you never know. It's better to have than not need, than need and not have, that kind of thing. And just for that reason alone. And the more the merrier if you want to preserve one more right, you know? So anyway, that's it. Canik TP9 SF.